Howdy friends! So, one of the best parts of Classic WoW is the level of depth the game has regarding hunter pets. For those who don't know, one of the WoW classes called Hunters gets access to an animal companion of their choice that they can find, tame, feed, and train in order to have them fighting by their side. It's actually quite impressive how much information there is regarding one aspect of this class. I've been playing Hunters for 15 years, and there seems to be a number of things I'm still learning about their pets. But it seems to me that one of the most common misconceptions people have regarding hunter pets is that of attack speed, what it really means, and when it's good and when it's bad. So to give you a quick rundown of pets and their attack speeds, all pets belong to a certain family. This includes everything from cats, whether it's lions, jaguars, tigers, etc., to wolves, which could be coyotes and wargs. No matter what color or type of pet it is, its damage and abilities are based on its pet family. All boars can charge, all birds can dive, and so forth because they all belong into the same family. Something that often does vary in a pet family though is a pet's attack speed. Some attack much faster than others. Sometimes the speed difference can be as extreme as twice as fast as other members of that family. But a common misconception you might hear is that a faster attack speed means more damage. After all, more attacks means more damage, right? Well, not in this case. Likely for reasons of balance, Blizzard has standardized all pet damage within a family, meaning a wolf that attacks with a speed of hitting once every 1.2 seconds will deal just as much damage as a wolf attacking with a speed of 2 seconds. Because the slow pet will deal more damage each hit. Same can be said for all birds, cats, hyenas, and just every pet. Damage is based on pet family, not attack speed. As a side note, most pets in the game have an attack speed of 2.0. So many in fact that it would be fair to say that an attack speed of 2.0 is standard and anything greater or slower is actually the exception to the rule. Some other pet misconceptions exist. For example, one I see all the time is that people say cats have the highest DPS in the game, or Broken Tooth has the fastest attack speed in the game. And by far the most common one I hear is that faster attack speed is better. Now, of these three common misconceptions, the first one on the list does make me sad because it leaves out the beloved raptor pet family, as raptors tie with cats for DPS output. Both are able to use claw and bite as their abilities, and both have a damage modifier of plus 10%. So you can confidently bring a raptor in a raid and know that your pet is putting out the maximum DPS any pet can. So it's actually incorrect to say cats are the highest DPS pet in the game because they're actually tied with raptors. But I'm going to put an asterisk next to this and I'll get to it later. And before you say, well, cats can learn dash and raptors can't, so that means a cat can get to a target faster and begin DPS sooner. And that would be a fair statement, but by doing this, a cat would use focus on its dash and have less available for its damaging abilities like claw and bite. So I think it's fair to say that cats and raptors are still tied for DPS when you take all things into consideration. The next misconception I hear is that Broken Tooth has the fastest attack speed in the game. For those who don't know, Broken Tooth is a very rare, very coveted pet that has an attack speed of 1.0. This misconception is so common, it's even present on Wowhead in the Hunter Pet article, which clearly states, and I quote, "Broken Tooth has the fastest attack speed in the game, clocking in at 1 attack per second." This should instead say, Broken Tooth has the fastest attack speed of any cat in the game, as you can clearly see on Petopedia that bats available in Zul'Gurub boast the exact same attack speed as Broken Tooth. Now please don't think I'm trying to nitpick here like some know-it-all who enjoys correcting people, as Wowhead likely wrote this article before Zul'Gurub is available, so it was accurate when they wrote it but is now out of date. My goal for pointing this out though isn't to say that they're wrong, but simply just trying to clear up some common misconceptions that people have about hunters and their pets. And that actually brings me to the final misconception I want to go into that you'll commonly hear, and this one I'd like to explore a little deeper, and it's that faster attack speed is always better in PvP, and that it becomes irrelevant in PvE. These claims appear true on the surface, but when you dive a little deeper, you'll see that there are actually many exceptions to this being the case. So first, when it comes to PvE, it's true, attack speed doesn't matter for the same reason I stated before, because a mob can't be interrupted with knockbacks while they're casting, and so whether your pet is attacking once every 2 seconds or once every 1 second, it's going to equal out to the same damage. That is, unless you introduce the talent Frenzy from the Beast Mastery tree. See, this talent gives your pet a 30% increased attack speed for 8 seconds after your pet deals a critical strike. You don't have to think very long to realize that a faster attack speed is going to mean a sooner chance for your pet to get a critical strike, and therefore more chances for this to proc. Once it does, your pet's attack speed will be so high, you can almost guarantee a 100% uptime of this ability. Now sure, a pet with an attack speed of 2.0 can achieve this as well, but all it would take is some poor RNG and you might not see this proc for quite a while. So with this logic, I can see it argued that a pet like Broken Tooth, with their attack once every second, is actually a better DPS pet than a Raptor with a 2.0 attack speed, even though they both technically do the same DPS on the surface. Now on the flip side, there are many benefits for faster attack speeds in PvP. These include the frenzy benefits that I just stated, they also translate to PvP. And the most common one, more interrupts against casters. This is probably the most mentioned benefit, as you can make life difficult for any healer, mage, warlock, druid, shaman, you name it, trying to cast a spell. This is a value that can't really be overstated. But a faster attack also means your pet can consume more charges, such as Lightning Shield, Redoubt, and Shadow Guard faster, as all three of these abilities that I named have on-hit charges which are spent when the target takes melee or ranged hits respectively. So these are more likely to hit your pet instead of you, the hunter, which will even out the damage and help you out overall. But at the same time, there are many negative consequences to a faster attack speed. Namely, the variety of class abilities that trigger when they're hit with a critical strike. Now, one of the most frightening of these is a warrior's Blood Craze and their Enrage abilities. Blood Craze is a warrior ability which causes the warrior to regenerate 3% of their total health over 6 seconds every time they take a critical strike. And Enrage gives them a 25% melee damage bonus for 12 seconds after being critically hit. If you imagine a cat hitting a warrior from behind every second on top of your ranged attacks, it doesn't take much to imagine both of these abilities have a almost 100% uptime. Now, I don't play a warrior, so I'm not sure how frequently these talents are selected in PvP scenarios, but considering how common warriors are in PvP, I could imagine this is a problem you'll run into often if you bring a fast attacking pet into a battleground. And next we have a Shaman's Eye of the Storm ability, and this is another frightening possibility. If you've faced off an elemental shaman in PvP, you're probably all too familiar with their insane burst potential. With just a few critical hits, they can drop even the tankiest players in a matter of seconds, even more so when their Eye of the Storm ability goes off, which gives them the ability to gain 100% immunity to knockbacks for 6 seconds after being critically hit. Go after one of these shamans with a fast swinging pet, and you'll have a difficult time stopping that shaman from casting on you without interruption. Another scenario is a paladin's Redoubt ability. You probably don't have to go far to find a holy paladin who picks up this ability, as it allows them to increase their block chance by 30% after being critically hit. Now, a player can't block attacks from behind, which is where your pet will usually be, and they won't be able to block your incoming range attacks, but you're certainly going to frustrate a melee teammate who are trying to help you focus down a paladin, only to find that your 1.0 attack speed pet keeps critically hitting this paladin for 100 damage and ensuring they get a maximum uptime on their blocks. So with all of these examples in mind, I think it's fair to say that the value of a pet's attack speed, whether that's slow or fast, depends heavily on your spec as well as on what you're fighting. Because of this, I often choose more than one pet to switch to depending on the composition I am, or if I'm anticipating fighting a different class. If I'm going into maybe a Warsong Gulch and I can almost guarantee there's going to be a lot of warriors, I'm going to bring a Wind Serpent. If I plan to target healers in the back, a cat with a fast attack speed should do the trick. However someone chooses to play a hunter, I can say I'm genuinely impressed by how in-depth the pet system is. It really gives the hunter class a completely new dynamic of play and a lot to think about that you won't find in later expansions. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today. If you enjoyed this video or any of my content in general, you might be interested to hear that I actually have my own novel. It's called The Court of View. It's a fictional thriller, and you can learn more about it on the Amazon link I have in the description below. And one more thing, I've started streaming WoW on Twitch. You're welcome to come check out my channel on Tuesday nights for Hunter and Druid content. So other than that, I appreciate your time, and I will see you guys next time.